You ever met someone who's like always waiting for the other shoe to drop, but but somehow manages to be cheerful about it?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like this weird contradiction.
Right.
Today we're going to dive into this whole thing.
Yeah.
It's the cheerful pessimist.
Yeah. Yeah, like that sounds like an oxymoron, doesn't it?
It really does, right?
Yeah.
So we've got a bunch of sources that talk about this.
Yeah.
And it is kind of fascinating.
Yeah.
Like, when you have a backup plan,
Right.
and then your backup plan has a backup plan,
Right.
that's
them.
a cheerful pessimist right there.
Yeah, they're ready.
They are so ready for anything to go wrong.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
They still find a way to be like, hey, life is good.
Right. They're able to see the joy.
They see the joy.
Yeah.
Even when everything's going wrong.
Absolutely. And I think that's kind of the secret sauce.
It really is.
They're almost like they've inoculated themselves against disappointment.
It's like they're mentally vaccinated or something.
Yeah. They've already thought about all the things that could go wrong.
Right.
So that when they do, they're not as phased.
So they're just kind of like, all right, whatever.
Right.
Next problem.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that.
And they're able to kind of roll with the punches a little bit better.
So our sources get into like the psychology of it.
Yeah, it's really interesting because you would think like being negative all the time would be bad for you.
Right. Like you'd just be anxious.
But it turns out
Go ahead.
that like kind of sort of anticipating problems
Okay.
is actually a way to reduce anxiety because you've already thought about it.
You're prepared.
Yeah, you're prepared. And so it's not as scary
Okay.
when it actually happens.
So instead of panicking, they're thinking of solutions.
Exactly. And they're also more proactive.
So they're not just sitting around being like, woe is me.
No, they're thinking about, okay, if this happens, then I'm going to do this.
I'm going to do this.
And if this happens, then I'm going to do that.
It's like a whole flow chart in their head.
Exactly.
I love it.
Yeah.
But I mean, can you picture them like,
Yeah.
bracing for impact, but with a smile on their face?
Oh, yeah.
Because our source mentioned this, and I thought it was so funny.
What's that?
They're like the people who are constantly rolling their eyes at like
At the optimists.
the optimists, yes.
Yeah, that hurts.
Like, oh, you sweet summer child. Thinking that everything's going to be perfect.
Exactly.
But then part of them is like, I kind of wish I could be like that.
Yeah, and I think they recognize the power of a positive outlook.
Totally.
They just also, want to be prepared.
Be realistic.
Yeah, a little dose of reality.
So this whole downside thinking thing
Yeah.
actually has some advantages.
It does.
Right.
It does. Like, there's actually a term for it.
What is it?
It's called constructive pessimism.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, and basically it's like I said,
Yeah.
if you're already considering those potential pitfalls, you're more likely to actually make a plan
To avoid them.
to avoid them, right?
Okay.
So it's not just about being negative, it's about using that negativity to actually
Make a plan.
make a plan and be more prepared.
It's like that quote from Charlie Munger,
Oh, yeah.
Warren Buffett's business partner.
Right.
He said, I never allow myself to become overly enthusiastic about anything.
That's a good one.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you're too excited,
You miss things.
you don't see the pitfalls.
You don't see the downside.
You're blinded by the shiny.
Exactly.
So it makes you wonder, like, could a little bit of
Yeah.
cheerful pessimism actually be good for you?
Maybe.
Maybe it's like the key to being more resilient,
Could be.
maybe even happy.
Right, because if you're not constantly being disappointed,
Right.
then you're able to actually enjoy those little wins.
The little joys in life.
Exactly.
It's really interesting to think about.
It is.
Maybe we all need a little bit of cheerful pessimism.
Perhaps just a dash.
Just a dash.
Just a sprinkle.
Like salt.
Yeah, like salt in your dish.
Yeah. All right. I like it.
So what do you think? Is it something that you could embrace?
I don't know.
A little bit of cheerful pessimism.
I mean, I think I already am a little bit of a pessimist.
There you go.
Maybe I just need to be more cheerful about it.
Maybe that's it.
Work on that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's something for everyone to think about.
It is food for thought.
It's food for thought for sure.
Until next time.
See you.